It's a difficult argument to make now, isn't it, for any terms of competition at the top. We can drag out the old top four routine that seems to have served Arsenal well for quite a few years. But they have all left it too late unless City capitulate, which is not going to happen. So, I mean, it was an expected win. They got the win. It was professional. But you can't go to places like West Ham at the weekend and lose. Burnley in match day 1. Crystal Palace. Don't forget this is the Chelsea side that lost to Palace when they hadn't scored a goal after, was it 7 or 8 games. Went to Selhurst Park and lost. You ain't going to win the title like that. So they're just heading for the top 4. And it looks like they might be heading out to the Champions League as well, unless they can buck their ideas up, bearing in mind they've got Barcelona.
This is it, Steve. As much as you could celebrate a win away against Huddersfield midweek, off the back of that defeat against West Ham, it certainly takes the edge off, doesn't it?
Well, it does, but I think the fact that they do pull Barcelona kind of gets them all, gets the juices going again. Definitely they're talking top 4. I don't think there's a Chelsea player will tell you they think they can win the league. So it really is all about the Champions League. And in order to make sure you get a game, you better do something on the field. So I think that's going to keep them going between
so you think
now
the next
and
couple of months it's all about getting your place for that match against Barca?
Absolutely. Any footballer wants to play in the biggest games. And if I'm a Chelsea player, I want to play. So I'm going to put it in.
Well, you can't slip up the weekend before against West Ham and then not have a response against Huddersfield. And they got the response that they needed. They got the 3 points. It was comfortable in the end. Yeah, they conceded late, but the game was over. And now they're going to look at the table. Yeah, like Craig said, it is between second and fourth, because there's no chance at Man City with the squad they have and the run they're on that they're going to mess that up. So there is something about that second to fourth, even though it's not as attractive as 3-4 teams fighting for the title, but the title's done.
I'll tell you what's attractive now for a lot of these teams, the FA Cup. When the FA Cup kicks in January, that's going to be attractive for them all, because they're all trying to pitch the season to their investors, their board, their owners, their fans in a different way. Stevie and I were talking during the game, and back to Stevie's point about keeping your place, we were looking at Willian's performance, although, OK, it's Huddersfield. But this guy just seems to have so much to offer going forward. His free kicks are great, his corners, his set pieces are great, he's fast, he's direct, he runs at people. But for some reason, he doesn't always start. And I think that's going to be food for thought over the next couple of months for Antonio.
Well, but I think some of what Conte has to be looking at is who are the guys that can get motivated to play against the smaller clubs? Because their problem this year has been with the smaller clubs or the clubs that have been lower at the table, not necessarily against the bigger teams. So if you're struggling losing to West Ham and Palace and Burnley, and, well, who do you know in your squad can go beat the team you're supposed to beat? And Milan showed up again and got a goal, and good for him.
Draw is kind, Gab. Juve taking Spurs.
Well, it's always relative, I think, to what could have been for Juventus. Not having won their group, they could have faced probably a much tougher opponent. I mean, they could have faced Paris Saint-Germain, they could have faced Manchester City. So relative to that, yeah, I think the draw is kind. Tottenham are not as fearsome as those other clubs.
You take a look at it, though, Gab. How big an opponent are Spurs? How concerned should they be about your boy Poch?
I think they should be concerned, and I think they should be concerned because right now Juventus aren't where they want to be. I mean, we've said this before, but the whole premise in the summer was, they want to build on their success in Europe, 2 Champions League finals in 3 years. The team has to evolve. He spends 80 million on 2 wingers like Douglas Costa and Federico Bernardeschi, but he can't seem to get them on the pitch in big games. He's his best player, arguably Paulo Dybala, has ups and downs, some criticism recently from Nedved, who seemed to question his private life. Midfield, you're not really sure where some of the pieces fit. At the back, Bonucci still missed. So put all these things together, and it's a work in progress. And the good news is you don't play Tottenham until, mid-February. So you've got some time to work on it. But yeah, I don't think Tottenham's an opponent you take lightly at all.
Casey, you used to play for Tottenham.
I did.
How are you feeling?
Well, Spurs have proven this year in the Champions League that they can rise to the big occasion, knocking off Real Madrid, Dortmund, winning their group. So, yeah, I mean, it's not as if, and I agree as well. Spurs, it's not like Juventus is playing, PSG or playing, some of the real big boys out there that they could have possibly gotten a hold of. But Spurs are one of those teams that on their day, they can be extremely dangerous. Now they got to get that consistency right. They've been missing a few games here and there in the league, which has kind of pushed them down the table. But they definitely have the squad to hurt a team.
I mean, if PSG have got a chance to really make a statement against Real Madrid, then I suppose Spurs have got an opportunity to do that against Juventus, the first time the teams will ever have met. Juventus have got a deeper squad, there's no doubt about that. But I mean, I fancy Juve over the two legs, but I don't think it's a game where they can afford to take Tottenham lightly.
No, and both sides are going pretty much through the same problems. Not doing as well as expected, inconsistent. So this is tight. Juventus shade it, but this is tight.
Welcome to Extra Time. We had holiday potluck today.
Oh.
Did you bring anything?
Yes.
What did you bring?
Myself.
Oh.
To be honest with you, I didn't know.
Didn't you get the email?
I didn't know either.
Did you not know?
Did you?
I didn't know either.
I didn't. There was a lot of when I come in on Saturday. There was not for a lot, but I come in on Saturday. There was all these tables lined up outside my.
Yeah, because it's
When I
all going to hosted by your desk.
Yeah, but I didn't know when it was.
Oh, I see. Did you ask?
And as it was, I didn't bring anything in last year either.
Oh, wow.
And I can officially tell you, I won't be bringing in anything next year.
Well, that's disappointing. Well, that's nothing to be proud of.
What did you bring in?
I brought in some Christmas biscuits.
Cheapskate.
It's better than nothing.
Well, if I'd have known, I'd have brought some in.
Well, you've already said you're going to bring anything in next year.
I'm just telling you that.
Our big boss brought in a pineapple pizza.
Did it?
Look at that.
Well,
Yes. Look at that.
And I can't tell you, there was only, when I came down here just before the show, there was only one slice taken out of it. Which tells you that I was right. And I don't think he's watching. In his office, he might have gone home. Shock. I mean,
Why are you making weird noises? What's happened to you?
That name make you nervous or something?
What have you done?
pizza was great, but he did go out his way to tell me he brought it in.
I know. And he bought a lasagna as well, and he sent
Did
it
that
to
have
Gab.
pineapple on it?
No, because of Gab's issue with lasagna.
Gab's not here.
Well, no, but he sent a picture to Gab.
What good's that?
Oh my goodness! Right,
Right, there was a lot of people hanging about that food for a long time.
there were.
I can tell
I
you,
rated the cookies.
and I don't miss much
Hey,
stuff
and,
like that.
and there are some that look like Cafu. They go back and forth and down that line, huh?
And they pretended they were just tidying it up.
Did you have some of the cake? The cake was nice.
No, I did not have cake.
Yeah, the cake was
I had
healthy.
cake.
There was a lot of good. There was a lot of nice stuff there. Thank you
Why are
very
you saying
much.
that with surprise tone?
Because sometimes when food's pre-cooked like that, it's not the best. Thank you very much to everybody who brought it in. Same again next year.
Craig will contribute nothing.
I'll bring an apple.
Will the right, let's go. Julian's here, everyone. Julian did not take place in our holiday potluck. What a disappointment for him. Will the losing manager of Real Madrid against PSG lose their job? PSG want to go to at least the semi-final of the Champions League, while Zidane also has to do well in the Champions League, considering their league position.
It's a good question because whatever happens, whoever wins and loses, then there will be big repercussions in terms of the managers. You're right, because Unai Emery will still finish the season at PSG, but we will be sure 1,000% that he wouldn't be here next season. And for Zidane, would be going out in the last 16, and also it seems, struggling to win another Liga title be enough for him to lose his job as early as February or March. It's a big question mark as well, but whoever loses is in trouble.
I think he'd be gone, wouldn't he, Zidane? If you lose to PSG, nowhere near in the title race.
I believe in continuity and consistency.
Yeah, but Florentino Perez does.
Well, okay, so you're asking me. Right?
Well, I'm telling you.
Is Florentino here?
Well, I know him very well, actually.
Well, from your years in Madrid, right? You haven't told me that story.
Bring back Benitez. Told you.
Get Benitez.
By the way,
back.
Look, I think that
don't get this talk if Emery goes at PSG eventually, if they don't win the Champions League, that Mourinho, surely to God, they're not going to suffer for some of this stuff.
Jules, that story obviously had some legs a couple of months ago, but they'll be seeing what's going on at United. He isn't the Mourinho that he used to be.
No, he's not. And most importantly, I think he doesn't play the style of football that the Qatari owners who spend so much money on this PSG squad want to see at the party price. They don't want to see their team playing the way Mourinho's team are playing, and especially this season he's playing at United. So he's on the short list for sure because he's still a big manager, a big name. But I don't think he's top of the list because of that style of football that is so different than what they want to see.
Julian, this is for you, and the Twitter handle may give it away. Mbappe to Madrid. Could Mbappe decline a permanent move to PSG, even though there's an agreement in place between Monaco and PSG?
Oh, PSG, yeah. Sorry.
You all right? What you doing?
you
Carry
got
on,
excited.
sorry.
Got excited.
I got ahead of myself.
You thought I said something wrong?
Yes.
Interrupted.
Well,
Let me finish.
Yes,
Thank
sorry.
you.
I just didn't want you to look silly.
Well, too late. You've made yourself look silly.
Oh, lovely.
Julian?
This is beautiful.
No, he can't. He will be a PSG player next season. He will be a PSG player for a few years to come. But I'm still convinced that at some point in his career, he will play for Real Madrid, which, you know, is a team, the club that he's always dreamed to play for. So it's too early now, but certainly in 4 or 5 years' time, I think he will end up at the Bernabeu.
Julian, could Zidane go to PSG?
Yeah, I was going to say, no way he's from Marseille. I mean, I can't talk for the Qatari owners. I can't talk for Zidane. I would be amazed if he ends up at PSG one day. But you never know in football, I guess.
You never know. There we are. Is that it? Are we done?
Give them Raymond Domenech and be done with it.
Oh, yes.
Well,
No, please, no, please.
Oh dear.
That's it. ESPN FC returns to your screen. So is it the same lineup? Is everyone here? Are you here tomorrow?
No,
I
I'm
am
not.
Oh, I think Steve Nichols here tomorrow.
Yes, he's
is he still angry?
We'll be talking Chelsea Huddersfield, everyone.
Hey!
make up of a job with Steve tomorrow.
Standard.
Welcome into Extra Time. I've got poker tonight, boys. ESPN Poker this evening.
Yeah, what a crew that is.
Hey, it is quite a crew. What?
How many's going tonight?
I think there's 13.
It's growing that, isn't it?
13.
Because maybe a year or two ago when you started going round and having your cucumber sandwiches.
Yes, you seem to think we eat cucumber sandwiches.
And you have a glass of water, cucumber sandwich,
Right,
bit
come
of
on.
cheese.
Let's see you. What's your poker face?
I don't really.
Let's see your
I
poker
can't give it
face.
away. I can't give you my tells, can I, Steve?
What's that face you pull, Stevie, when you get under his skin, like I did earlier before we came
Oh,
on?
well, his mouth goes a little strange. He does go a little bit red. And then he tries to kind of laugh and snigger as if he's not bothered.
I mean, he tried.
But it's written all over his face.
I only questioned if we were ready to record our show. That's all our questions.
I knew it was going to be a palaver today, so I was already preempting issues.
No, you'd nothing to do with that. It's the fact you're going to play poker.
What you were just talking about the fact that I had a stroke today.
So you're trying to say the stroke because there's going to be a palaver in the studio. I'm
Yeah.
telling you the stroke because the palaver's going to affect your poker. It all comes back to you.
I'll be focused, I'll be in the
Selfish.
zone, it'll
14,
be fine.
I tell you what,
Shows the face.
you got
I can't say it, I can't say it.
I have to tell you, you've got 14 of the most boring people at ESPN going to this house today. There's not a shadow of a doubt about that. They're all Ted strikers. They should have been in that film Flying the Plane. 14 Ted strikers. Can you fly this plane, Ted?
He's not far wrong, is he?
Well,
That's why he's
can't
laughing. Hey, that's why he's laughing, because he knows you're right.
Sitting for about 10 minutes like that, going. How boring is that?
What are you going to do tonight?
Same as I do every night.
Sit on your own and drink beer?
No, I won't be on my own.
The dog over there. Barney.
And here talk to me.
Our producer wants to know if you enjoyed your birthday tribute.
Yeah. There was a couple of pictures that didn't put me in the best of light.
What, the golf one with the...
Oh, the golf one, yeah.
That's a big belly.
Well, fortunately, it's not like that anymore. It's somewhat,
It's dropping off.
somewhat diminished. Just agree.
Who wins this Champions League round of 16 tie? United or Sevilla? Gab's here. United or Sevilla? Gab would have come and played poker. That would have livened it up.
Yeah.
Well, given how inconsistent Sevilla have been, and given the issues with their managers, and given the fact that by the time they play, the Champions League may well be Jose Mourinho's main target, I would say Manchester United.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just one thing tonight.
Yep.
Don't
Yep.
let the same guy win the money again.
Yeah, I know,
Because
Mark.
he comes only for the money. He knows who he is. Works here. Right? Not a lot. Works here. Off the scene.
Will Salah be perfect replacement for Robin
Is
at
that below the
Bayern?
belt?
He'd never get a game at Bayern.
Who?
Salah.
Salah. He's going to leave Liverpool
Same
soon.
as he
isn't
never
he?
got a game at Liverpool.
You could be trouble keeping hold of him.
No, he'll be here next summer. He will not go anywhere,
No.
either in January or in the summer.
Okay. All right.
You heard it here first.
Do you want to say anything about Salah, Casey?
Yeah,
You're having dinner with Claudia Reyna tonight, aren't you?
I think I am.
You invited to poker, didn't want to come.
He was.
Yeah.
I don't know if he still is. It's getting late.
Well, he was going to go until you told him who was going to be there.
I didn't-
Imagine that.
He was interested, and then he found out who was there.
What are your
He
thoughts?
got all excited about it. Whose house is it at tonight?
8.
Yeah, Adrian Healy.
What are your thoughts on Burnley this season? Do you think they can?
If you win a lot of money with that, you've got to pay tax on it.
No, you got to. If you win over $10,000, you've got to pay tax.
Oh, that's not happening.
Naturally.
I think you're
Not that
okay.
true.
Oh, what? No. What's wrong?
I'll raise you
Why are you shaking that head?
$5.
Casey's gonna be, what insight do you want to give us?
No, I'm just telling you that it becomes income regardless if it's over $10,000.
See?
Regardless.
Yeah.
So if it's if
You're
you
not-
win,
you're-
if you win $50, you've got to pay tax on it. No, because if you go to the casino, you have to go to the tax window, don't you? If it's over 10 grand.
Then it has to be under 10 grand.
Yes.
I thought it says 10 grand with women. Right,
Well, it's 10 grand when you
Listen.
travel internationally, you have to declare.
Right, this is taking. This is
These
taking-
lot don't even play for $10. I mean, that's how boring they are.
What are your thoughts on Burnley this season? Haven't I just read this? Do you think they can pull a
Is
Leicester?
it matches they play for?
No,
they
no.
can't, but
They
no.
can't. They can't pull a Leicester.
Right.
No,
They're going to do well.
Can they get
They're
Champions
having-
League spot?
No.
No,
I don't
that's
think
it.
so either.
Good. Done. Right, excellent. We're back tomorrow. We'll be looking back at United, City, Spurs, Liverpool, all in action. Not against each other, though. 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN News.